Good morning, everybody. My name's Fiona. This is Elio Moon Arts, and today we are going to be making one of these little boxes to put our lace in, or trims in, whichever one you wanna do. So we will need some of the things that we're going to need for this. We'll need some all-purpose art glue, which is this one from Couture Creations. We will also need some quick dry adhesive, also from Couture Creations. We will need a scoreboard. You will need a paper trimmer. I've got some lace just to show you how to use these. And I'm also going to put a bit of lace trim around the edge of my box because I'm going to use mine for lace and ribbons. So also you will find over on my Ko-fi site, and I'll leave a link for that in the bottom of the video, a template for these bobbin holders. So if you wanted to, you could actually cut down a piece of paper that will fit into your printer that has a design of some sort on it, and then you could just print that directly onto your printed paper and then cut them out. What I have done is I've cut them out of, I think this is about 120 DSM card. Let me double check that. I do have it here. So let me just check that one. So I've taken the white card out of the Earthly Delights collection. And sorry, it's 216 GSM card stock. So that's these ones. And what I've done is I've taken one of my patterned pieces like this that I'm using on the outside of my box. And I'm going to put it on the wrong side. I'm going to adhere these to that, and then I'll recut them out. I've cut out about 12. I've done 2 of them so far, where I've adhered them to each other, and these ones have got a few marks on them. I'm not really concerned about that. If you really wanted to and you had a problem with it, you could actually add another piece of paper onto the back side of it. So this paper is a textured paper. It's got like a linen finish. So I've put the heavy linen finish side up, and I've put the slightly smoother linen finish side down. And so these will be what we'll see in our box. And they will fit in like so. And obviously they'll have lace or ribbon on them. And then that will just give me a nice little decorative storage piece for this. Something else you may want to do with yours, I have these large half pearls. So that is what I have used for the feet on this one. I have ordered some other metal type feet, but they haven't arrived yet. So I don't currently have them at the moment. So this will be coming to you, I think it's either the 16th or the 18th of August. Today is, I think it's the 7th today. Let me have a look. It's Tuesday. Where can I find my date? Oh, sorry, it's Tuesday the 8th of August. So this will come to you about the 18th of August, I think it is. So what we will start off with, so what I did first was I got, if you're going to print it onto cardstock, I would get that and then I would glue it to your decorative piece of card, and then I would cut all of these out. That probably takes the longest of this program, of this project. Then we're going to need, of our decorative papers, we're going to need 2 pieces of paper that measure 6.5 inch long by 1 7/8 of an inch high. That's for the decorative part of our box. And we'll also need one that's 3 inches long, maybe just a little bit under 3 inches, and 1.78 high again. We will also need a piece of base colour. So I've just used the brown piece out of the Earthly Delights collection of papers. Which is different to your Earthly Delights scrapbooking type paper collection. So there's a couple of different collections with this lot. So you've got Earthly Delights collection. Oops, sorry about that. Which is like your scrapbook type paper. And then you have the Earthly Delights cardstock collection. So I'm using both of these products. I love the colours in this collection. I'm just finding that they're just so versatile. You know, they're neutral colours, and I suppose I tend to like those neutral colours a little bit. So it's been perfect for my needs. So let's get started. So first of all, we're going to get our scoreboard after we've trimmed down our paper. So this piece of paper, I don't think I told you, was 7 7.7 of an inch across and 11 5/8 down. So you'll have to trim yours up to that size. Then yeah, I've given you for the contrasting ones, I've given you the numbers for that. So we're going to score this bit of paper at 1/2 inch and 2.5 inches, and we're going to do that on all 4 sides. So I'm going to go 1/2 inch and then 2.5 inches, 1/2 inch and 2.5 inches. So we're going to do that on all 4 sides. So we've got 1/2 inch and 2.5 inches. Okay, that's all we need our scoreboard for, so we'll pop that away. Okay, so now we're going to fold all of our scores. Just going to fold them all over. Like the ones along the side as well. Go around this way. Fold this one over. So essentially we're just making a box. So I presume quite a few of you will know how to do this already. So you won't need to watch too much of this. But there may be new people here as well at the moment who haven't made a box before and might need a little bit of help. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut from the edge of the paper up to this. So you've got a fold line here and a fold line here. So we're going to cut up to that second fold line. So I'm just going to cut it up to there. And then I'm going to do a little bit of an angled cut just above this fold line. So it's going back down towards it like that. So we're just mitering that corner a little bit. To that corner a little bit more. Then we are going to cut this piece in half. Okay, I'm going to cut this piece off. And I'm just going to cut a little slither off there and one off there. Just so that it's like a little, because these will be our tabs that we'll glue our box to. And we're going to do the same on all four corners. So I'm going to take this one out, detach it from our piece. I'm going to miter the corner down, so just a snippet there. And then I'm going to cut this in half. Across there. Cut this piece off. I'm just going to grab my smaller scissors and I'm just going to do a small miter. Just cutting out that tiny little notch. That'll just help it to fold better. And the same in that one. So essentially these 2 tabs will come up like that. Our end will come over and like that. So this 1/2 inch that we've got at the top, that's basically to stabilise our box. Okay, so I'm just going to do the same thing with this end. So we're going to cut that one out. Going to do that little mitered cut here. I'm going to cut this one in half. Like so. We're just going to do our another little mitered cut there, another little mitered cut there. So there it is again, and now once more. So we're just going to slip this one down, just right up to that score line. Miter the corner so it comes from the edge down towards your project, not too much. There. I'm going to cut this. I'm just going to fold this one back for a minute. Just going to cut this one straight across in half. And we're just going to take that 1/2 inch piece out, like so. Okay, so now comes the fun part of gluing it all together. Just making sure they're all nicely cut down. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use glue, but there is no reason why you couldn't use tape, like this type of tape, double-sided tape, to put these together. I use glue because the hold of the glue will last longer than the tape. These are not designed to last forever. I suppose that's the other take that I take from this. So to start off with these little tabs that we created, we're going to put glue on the outside of them. So it's going to go on the outside. And I'll just do, as I do them, I'll join them to the box. Okay, so I'm going to bring this piece up, pull this piece across, and just make sure that that corner is nice and square and flush. I'm just going to tip it on its end, just turn it around this way. And I'm just going to grab my bone folder and I'm just going to push down in there and just make sure that it's nicely adhered. Just wipe off that excess glue with my finger. Now we're going to do the same to this side. So once again, I'm going to get my glue. Make sure I get all my edges so that it sticks down really nicely. Oops. Swap that bit off there. Then I'm going to do the same thing again, pull it up, line it up with the edge of my box. Make sure it's nicely squared in. And once again, I'm going to grab my bone folder. I'm hoping you can see that. I'm just putting my bone folder inside the box and just smooshing down that edge. So the next thing I will do is I will grab this end flap. Just going to bend these ones back out the way for a minute so that we can see a little better. If I can get them to do that. Wonderful. Okay, so this little flap up here, it's on the inside of the box, so we're going to add glue to it. And this will help to stabilize our box. So we want to make sure we've got enough glue on there so that it's going to work. And I'm just going to flip that down, press it up against the edge, and then just grab my bone folder and smush that down again. Okay, so now we're going to flip it round to the other end. So once again, we're going to be putting it on the outside of these tabs. So I'll start with this side. Put glue on this one. You want to have a decent amount of glue on it, but you don't want that much glue that it's going to splodge out everywhere either. I'm just making sure you get those edges really nicely. Okay, so now I'm just going to pull this one down and I'm just going to line up my corner like such. And pop it down again. Just double check that corner. Felt like it come away a little bit, and it did. So I just want to make sure my corner's nicely squared up. Then I'm just going to get my bone folder and give it a good smush inside. Make sure you get that corner. And then we'll do our last one. So this one becomes a little bit awkward, so I just fold it over like such. And you probably can't see what I'm doing because of the box itself. And I'm just going to put the glue on here. Same as what we did for our other three. Okay, and so I'm just going to bring that up to there. Square it off with my other corner. Holding it in place, I'm just going to use my bone folder again and push that down until it's nicely adhered. And then we're going to go on the inside of this flap. Add our glue. And we're just going to flip that down. it in there, and I'm just going to do the same thing again with my bone folder, make sure it's properly adhered down. And then we're going to do the same on these ones. So these are on the inside of this box. These are the ones that are going to flip over. Now, there are a couple of things you can do. If you don't feel like your box is going to be strong enough for the amount of things that you're going to put into yours, like we're going to put a decorative piece on the outside from our Earthly Delights collection, and that will also help to strengthen this box and give it a bit more structure. So I'm just making sure I get these edges down. You could also cut another piece to pop into the base of this box if you so desired. I'm not going to do that. I don't feel that the ribbon and things that I'm going to put in mine need to have that. And I'm going to use the pearl, the half pearls, the large half pearls that I've got to put on the base of this as well, so that I've got two that are matching. So I'm just adhering that edge down, grabbing my bond folder once again, just giving that a really good smush, make sure that's really compressed down nice and firmly. And then we basically have our box. Now we're going to start on the outside bit. So I'm going to do our two ends first. So you've got to decide on which direction you want your piece to go on. So I've cut these at 3 inches, but I think they're just a smidge too long. I'll just trim that off. You might be better at 2 7/8 for the length of this instead of at 3. So you're 1 7/8 and 2 7/8. I'm going to suggest. Okay, that's lovely. Okay, so this is our first piece. Same principle as what we did before. Put our glue on the outside. Oh, sorry, on the back of it. This would even make a nice little gift if you wanted to make something for somebody and gift it to them with a bit of lace or ribbon and things in it. So there's one end on. So I'm going to say this one will be the same because that's the same size. Let's have a look. Yep, I'm just going to cut a little bit off this end and just double check our size. Yeah, so I'm going to say 2 7/8 by 1 7/8 you'll need for your for the ends of your box. I got that measurement a little wrong because I cut mine at 3. But sometimes it's easier just to have that little bit of extra play just to make sure that you've got it right. I'd much rather cut a little piece off than have to worry about trying to find another piece to put in there. So I'm just going to pop that on there. Pop that down there and give it another good smush with the foam folder. You could make a lid for this box, you know, put a few things in it, make a lid for it and gift it to somebody, make it a gift for somebody. So these pieces we have here are 6.5 by 1 7/8. So they're just shy of short. So you'll just see a little bit of the brown on either end, which I'm perfectly fine with. Okay, let's move this out the way to get some glue on here. I'm going to say that if you are using double-sided tape on this, it's probably a lot quicker because it's dry straight away, whereas this will take a little bit of time to dry. Maybe you would like to use both on yours, depending on what you're going to do with yours. Oops. So this is the Couture Creations Art Glitter Glue. Art glue that I'm currently using. It goes that way. Okay, so I'm just going to line this up. sort of try and get them symmetrical. So I'm just going to smush that down, flip it on its side, and then run my bone folder on the inside of the box so that that becomes nicely adhered to our box again. One more piece. Okay, let's get some glue on this piece as well. Now I'll have to dig out my box of bling to find some more of those half pearls to pop on the bottom. Okay, enough glue on there now. That's the right glue. I'm just going to pop this on here. I must admit, I love this brown with this pattern paper together. I think one of my other projects, I think it might have been my last project I did, and it was these colours. And I don't know, there's just something about it that I really, really like. Okay, so I'm just going to smush that down, make sure it's nicely adhered. Like I said, you could cut another piece, which would be, what's the size of this? So it'd have to, let's get inches. So it would be 3 inches, a smidge under 3 inches by a little over 6.5 to fit into the base of this container. So I'm going to put my art glue away, the all-purpose art glue, and we're going to get out our quick dry adhesive. So I've got a little bit of this lace, and I'm thinking it might look nice around the edge of my box. So where's my other one? So the last one that I made, I put this white decorative trim on, which is really pretty, but I don't have enough to do the same again, but I don't think they need to be exactly the same. So let's see how much of this we need. Well, take it around there. I mean, if you've got a sewing machine, you could have sewn this onto your decorative pieces and then adhered it all to your box at the one time. Okay, so I'm going to cut that about there. I'll probably cut it just a little bit longer than what I need, just so that I can trim it up at the end if I need to, just to make sure we've got enough. Okay, so to do this, I'm going to put my glue on first. So this is this is the quick dry adhesive. So I'm just going to put that right across here. A little bit on each corner, because I don't want it to sit on those corners as well. Okay, so now I'm just going to grab my piece of lace, and oops, I forgot to grab them out. I'm just going to grab a handful of clips, and I'm just going to clip this. Just going to take it up and clip this to my box. Ooh, there we go. Trying not to put my head in the frame. And this one. Should need about 3 clips on here, just to hold it all in place until we get round to the other side. So once again, I'm going to take my quick dry adhesive, bring it around the corner, bring a piece across here. I'll bring it across, make it nice and firm, grab some more clips, put that on there, and that should hold it in place. Now, come back around this side. Get our edge piece. Bring our glue all the way across, right up into that corner. Okay. Just pulling that nice and firm, just so that I know that it's going to stick nicely. Another one. Three. Get one down on this corner. Beautiful. Let's bring that up a little. We've got 4, so we've got clips all the way around just about. I did cut off quite a bit more than what I needed. It'll be okay. So I'm going to bring this piece around. So I'm just going to bring my put our quick dry adhesive on there. Bring this one around. Bring this one across, and I'll just trim this up to, to where I need it. I don't know how I got that much out of the way, but anyway, so I'm just going to pull that nice and firmly so that those joins join up together. Okay, once again, we'll put some clips on. I've clipped one of these ones, I think. I'll clip those two together. Oops, let's move down, let's smush down a bit. These little ones I want. Okay, and another one. So now we have our bit of lace put on. So I have these, what size are these? 20, these are 20 millimeters, and they're rhinestone pearl stickers. There's 16 in a pack, and I just bought them from one of the cheapy shops. So I'm just going to grab 4 of these. I'm going to turn this upside down for the minute, and I'm going to add some of our quick dry adhesive to these. Just that I find the glue on some of these sticky things are not always as good as they could be. Okay. Okay, put that back up there. So our first foot's going to go on. So I'm just making sure that it's just away from the edges, but it's in a spot that's going to look okay. Okay, there's our 4. These ones aside. Okay, once again, we're going to go with some glue again. That quick dry adhesive again. If I don't lose them, if I could open my bottle up properly before I start these things. Oh my Lord, they drive me crazy today. Okay, so there's our next one. Set it there. Our next one can go down here. And last but not least will be this one. Okay, and I'm just going to put that on there. Sorry, I've probably done that not even in frame when I've put that glue on, but I'm sure you all know how to put some glue onto something. I'm very sorry though that I've done that. Okay, so now just got to wait on these to dry a little bit. I can probably put them up on their feet anyway. Okay, so now we'll start taking these off because they should have set by now. So there's our pieces here. So now to create one of these, like I have done, I said I have printed the thing onto this white cardstock and then I've just trimmed them out. So here's one of my trimmed ones. Just going to grab, I've got some here. Yeah, it is this one. So I'm just going to grab a piece of this. So I'm going to put it on the back side of it. So we'll go back to our all-purpose art glue. And I'm just going to put glue along these. You could make that, you could actually like have this white cardboard still in the middle and then put your pattern cardboard on both sides if you wanted to do that. Sort of sandwich it in there and then cut them all out. So there's one down. I might just, that's done. I might glue some of these other ones onto here while I'm about it. So I'm just using the side that is not as textured. It's the side that I'm putting my glue on. And as you can see, I'm using a generous amount of glue. Okay, put my next one on. Yep. Let's grab one of my old cards. And I am really wanting to make sure that these are really well adhered, so I'm just going to smoosh that down into there. I think I worked out you could fit, on our 12 by 12 pieces, you could fit 4 across. Okay, next one. So by using a card of some sort or something to burnish it down, it just helps it to adhere a little bit better. So some of these I've inked on I've actually put the paper in the wrong way. And so I've still got a couple of ink lines there. It's not going to bother me too much. If it bothers you, then you'll have to be a little bit more careful than what I was when I put them through the printer. Okay, so our next one goes in there like so. Okay, down to the last 2. So my idea of making this was basically to have some lace and ribbon and things on my desk so that I can just pull from it on a regular basis, because I do use those types of things reasonably regularly when I'm doing book journals and stuff. So yeah, so I Thought it might be nice to be able to have something that can be permanently on my desk. Instead of having to go through all of my laces and all of my ribbon to decide on what I want. I mean, obviously, if I'm looking for something in particular, but I just thought a lot of my neutral ones that I use on a regular basis, I'll just put into one of these. Now, at this stage, you can get your trimmer and trim this off. Oops, I need to pull that off. Don't want them getting all mucky. Or, like me, put that off there. You can grab your pair of scissors, and I'm just going to cut up in between the two, like such. I know that was my last bit that I put the glue on, so I'm just going to split these up. And I'll just cut one of these out, just so that you can see what I did. There's a bit of excess there, so I'm just going to trim that bit off. And so now I'm just going to come around. Remember to move your paper, not your scissors, when you're cutting around an object. This is still a bit damp, so it's probably not the best time to be. I probably should have waited until it dried properly before I attempted this, but it seems to be going okay so far. If you have a Brother scan and cut machine, you could obviously make a nice dark line around it and have your scan and cut machine cut it out for you. I've got a friend who has one, and when I was over at her place the other week, I had some fussy cuts with me. We were just sort of a few friends together, and we were sort of going to have a craft morning, but I just brought some fussy cutting because I can't talk and craft at the same time. So I just thought I'd do some fussy cutting, but she put some of it through the Brother scan and cut. Oh my Lord. Just makes light work of it. Really, really interesting machine to have. Something I definitely wouldn't mind. It's on my wish list for Christmas this year, I think. Here's that one. Okay, so now we have cut out one of our ribbon holders. So this is what mine are going to look like. So this will sit into the box this way. So I'm just going to grab some ribbon that I've just got on a bit of card, which I've never really liked having it on, and I just thought these will look lovely. So I'm just going to, oops, the green thread there. So I'm just going to wind my ribbon onto, this is not ribbon, this is wind my lace onto my card. You want to make sure that your lace sits nice and flat on them. I'll pull it off that thing for the time being. Is anybody else a hoarder of lace? I'd be interested to see how many of us there are. Every time I go somewhere, I'm always looking at lace, the crocheted lace, whether it be crocheted lace, whether it be vintage lace. I just love this stuff. Some of it is just so pretty. Okay, we're nearly there. Just untangling that a bit. Okay, I'm just going to grab a pin. Missed it. There we go. So I'm going to have mine at the back here. Just going to put a little pin in there to hold it in place, and that will sit in my little box like so. I've got another one here that I'm going to do at the same time. I'm just going to pull it off here first. This is one of the ones that I'd done earlier. So once again, we're going to start winding this around. And you can, excuse me, I've got a pin in my mouth and I'm trying to talk. So you can have it for lace, you could do it for ribbon. They're the two things that I'm liking this idea for. If I was using like really heavy lace trims, I would possibly put a piece in the bottom of this box just to make it a little more secure. And for those of you who don't have a lace collection yet, some of the things that I did when I first started collecting lace and ribbon and things like that was I would quite often go to an op shop. For those in America and the UK, I think you call them what do you guys call them? You call them something else. But basically it's a second-hand shop. And I look at the clothes. You'll find a lot of ladies' dresses and skirts and tops will have different forms of lace and trim on them. And that essentially is what I did when I first started, was to just use the clothing and take it off the clothing. Some of the nylon laces and that are not that expensive, and you can pick some of them up at the Dollar Tree and, well, not Dollar Tree here, the cheap shops and things like that. So this is just one of my boxes of lace. And I'll just show you. So like this type of stuff, it's really cheap and readily available. This was the trim that I used on that other box that I did yesterday. It's just so pretty. I can't find that one anymore. But like I said, I have a lot of different bits and pieces in here. This is a black one. This come off a really beautiful black dress. It's like these ones here. These are some of the ones that I'm actually going to put onto cards. These neutral and the whites, because they're ones that I use all the time. Maybe that one. And so that'll just free up some room in my bigger box storage for my laces as well. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this. Be sure to pop over to my Ko-fi site to grab your printout for this. I look forward to seeing you in my next make. I'm not sure what I'm going to be making next, but yeah, we'll have a look at it then. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.